Hello, Kitchen Witchlings. Welcome back to another installment of Witchin Kitchen. We're back with Joanne Asala's Celtic folklore cooking, and today we'll be taking a crack at baking some pumpkin bread. Full transparency, I have made this before and I loved it. And now since it's rolling into September or October, depending on when I upload this, it felt like a good time to bring it back and fill the house with the telltale scents of the season: pumpkin, cinnamon, and nutmeg. Not you, nutmeg, the spice nutmeg. I still love you though. Anyway, on to the recipe. According to Joanne, walnuts attract lightning, and people have been struck by a bolt out of the blue when carrying walnuts. Brides have long taken that risk, however, for wearing walnuts in your bodice on your wedding day will prevent pregnancy. Each nut will keep the occurrence from happening for 1 year. This recipe calls for 1 large can of pumpkin, 1 cup of melted butter, 3/4 cup water, 4 eggs, 2 teaspoons of baking soda, 3.5 cups of flour, 2 1/4 cups of sugar, 1.5 teaspoons of salt, 2 teaspoons of cinnamon, ½ teaspoon of nutmeg, not you nutmeg, 1 cup of chopped walnuts, and 1 cup of raisins. Start by mixing the wet ingredients together: the pumpkin, melted butter, water, and eggs. Start with the pumpkin. With the pumpkin. I should have asked for help earlier. Pour in the melted butter, and don't accidentally burn yourself. Pour in the water that was spilled a little bit when your partner bumped into it while helping with your pumpkin problem. Then add the eggs. That just straight up cracked on the table. It's fine. This is fine.
Everything is fine.
Whew. Okay. Once all of this is mixed together in your fancy-dancy mixer, that you're still paying off, start adding in the dry ingredients: the baking soda, the flour, sugar, salt, cinnamon, nutmeg, walnuts, and raisins. No, not. Remember to start the mixer on stir before slowly bringing it up higher. Otherwise, you will end up covered in all of your dry ingredients, and we've already had enough mishaps today. That's looking good. And the spices smell so good with the pumpkin. Once everything is mixed together well, take a greased and floured bread pan and pour in your mix. Future Ash here. In my first go with this, I used 2 bread pans because I thought, wow, that looks like a lot. I better not overfill it. Since that worked last time, this time I decided to see what would happen if I just used 1 bread pan. Don't do that. Don't just use 1 bread pan unless you have a big bread pan. You will have a bad time. That's looking pretty full. It'll be fine. Future Ash again. It was not fine. We'll put this pan under that pan just in case. Make sure your oven is set to 350 degrees Fahrenheit and bake your bread for 1 hour or until the top is golden brown. And you're all set. Oh no, what is that? That's probably fine. Future Ash again. It's not. So today we learned that my hubris is once again my downfall, and if it looks like your pumpkin bread that is more like a pumpkin cake will overflow, it probably will, and you should just use 2 bread pans like you did the first time. Also, let your bread sit for at least 10 minutes before trying to move it, or your video is just going to turn into a comedy of baking errors. That being said, this is still incredibly delicious. The pumpkin, nutmeg, and cinnamon taste really good together. The walnut has a nice bitter taste and crunchy texture, with the raisins offering a nice balance of sweetness. And since I kept baking it until everything was cooked through, the only thing that was really messed up was the presentation. It's all going in my stomach anyway, so I'll consider this a delicious mistake. Arguably, the best kind of mistake you can make. I hope you all learn from my struggles and make the best cakes or tasty mistakes that make your bellies and the bellies of people you love happy. This pumpkin bread in particular is great for the dark time of the year, when the days grow shorter and the nights grow longer. Specific holidays you could celebrate with this bread are Samhain and Mabon, when the ingredients for this bread were usually in season. They happen to be my favorite flavors at my favorite time of year, so it's no surprise that this was a big winner for me. Is there a recipe you want to see me bake and do some witchy research on? Let me know in the comments below, or hit me up on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. I probably shared my presentation-friendly pumpkin bread on one of them, so if you want a slightly more satisfying visual, that's where you can find it. Thanks again for tuning in, and until next time, stay safe, my kitchen witchlings, have fun, and use your magic wisely. Ash out.
We climbed great heights. We took our time above the pines where hearts unwind, feeling the breeze swaying the trees.
So check that out.
Yay!
You actually did it. I only opened this. You did all of the rest of that. I just pried it open. Whoop.
It's fine.